Hey guys, I'm Gent on occasion, and today we're playing Warhammer Mark of Chaos. I want to say Battle March, but technically not. This is the Gold Edition. This is part of the Warhammer Collector's Collection. What's it called? Classic Collection. That's the one, not the Collector's Collection. That would be stupid. Anyway, old games have been, made to run in better resolutions and things. That whole chestnut. Just sort of a re-release. Not like a big remaster or like a remake or anything. Just, old games working on modern systems, and I think that's good. So yeah, if this video is out, then hopefully there's also a discount code for you guys to get the game for cheap, and probably the rest of the collection, but I don't know yet. Just look in the description and the comments for details. They'll be there, but hopefully you can pick this game up for cheap. It's quite cheap anyway. All these games in the collection are around like average around a tenner, I think. So, not too bad. But anyway, we can play campaign. We can play as the Empire, because we have to. It's the law. Alright, I guess we could play as the other things, but I want to play as the Empire, because the Empire are my boys, as are the Orcs and Goblins, and also Chaos. I'm actually working on armies for all three of these for the old world right now, which is frankly absurd. Also Undead. That's right, Undead. Which, back when this game came out, was still... No, probably wasn't a thing. Anyway, Undead split into two books, right, in whatever edition. It turned into Vampire Counts and Tomb Kings. But yeah, I'm making an Undead army, trying to make a classic army. But who cares? Let's get to it.
It has been a long and bloody year since the end of the Great War. While the Emperor has claimed victory, the peace that so many heroes gave their lives for has not settled on the lands. The Hordes of Chaos, though leaderless, continue to taint the northlands of the Empire. Vicious warriors attack merchant caravans and raid isolated farms and villages. The Emperor's battle-weary soldiers patrol the forests and hills, ever vigilant against bloodthirsty warbands intent on looting and slaughter. is no escape from chaos.
Probably one of the best cinematics in like a Warhammer
In the
game.
months
Really good.
following Emperor Magnus's great victory over the Chaos Hordes at the gates of Kislev, sporadic fighting plagued the lands of the Northern Empire. Though scattered and leaderless, Chaos warbands still ravaged south, pillaging and destroying. Hard-pressed, the armies of the Elector counts grew weary from constant war. Even as the first chill of autumn touched the air, Count Otto von Gruber of Ostermark gathered his forces east of the Middle Mountains to battle yet one more incursion. Amongst his captains was young Stefan von Kessel, a man with a reputation tainted by the execution of his grandfather for chaos worship, and whose brand-scarred face bore the mark of chaos itself.
It is imperative that we hold the higher ground from which we can bombard the enemy with our cannons. Captain Steimer will hold the line of this side of the River Ospek, backed up by Captain Feldsturm's artillery.
What is my role, Count?
You will take a contingent across the river and attack the watchtower the Chaos forces are holding on the hill. Drive them back and secure that hill so Feldsturm can set up his battery on the higher ground.
So that was a pre-rendered cutscene, an in-game, like, graphics pre-rendered cutscene from, I think, over 20 years ago. I forget when this game originally released. I didn't have a PC at the time. I never did play this back in the day. But I've wanted to play it on the channel for ages. And the Classics collection being out seemed like a really good excuse to. But as you can see, like, the game looks alright, doesn't it? It's not half bad. And there's even some, like, foliage and stuff around. All the models, when you take a look at them, pretty easy to see on these guys. All different heads. All different heads, bodies. Like, they actually have some variety. And, like, the animations aren't all synchronized. Like, there's some really good, like, modern video game stuff in here. You know? Like, really good stuff. Like, this is all the stuff you'd expect from Total War, you know? Pretty great. Pretty great. And here's our boy. He bears the mark of chaos on his head, you see. So real awkward that he's got this brand on his face. You know, the game's called Mark of Chaos, and that's his name. His name is Mark. His name is Mark of Chaos. It's not. It's Stefan. But imagine if his name was Mark, and that's why the game is called Mark of Chaos.
From the walls of that tower, we can strike forth at the hated slaves of darkness. The gods have offered up this hour for our vengeance, so grasp it with fervor and salve your anguish with the blood of the Northmen. Drive them back to their caves and take that tower!
Ready?
The southern cowards
Am
have
I
found us!
handgunners shoot people? Standard. So I don't think you need to worry about line of sight or anything. It's kind of like classic RTS rules rather than, you know, run Total War. See how they're all shooting and this guy's health bar is going down lots? Yeah. Oh, we're gonna do this thing where he gets to attack a bunch. Alright, they're dead. Those are the axe throwers, so I'm going to shoot at the axe throwers first. Oh no, we're still attacking them, just about. No, they're dead. Grab the gold. Thank you. So you can see we're trying to destroy these hell cannons. That's why we're trying to take this area, which I actually adore, because this is just like an old model kit that I wish I had. I really wish I had this back in the day. I really wish they would bring this back. I think it's an awesome model kit. Maybe we should petition them, because this would fit into, like, Warhammer the Old World so well. And I would just, oh, I would love it. I would love it.
Defeat is impossible.
Alright, there we go.
Captain Feldsturm can set up his battery from here.
Well, it says it's ours, but we do need to capture it, basically. for things to crack on.
Ready and prepared. Forward! Quick march!
We're going to go grab that.
The defense of the Empire is... The quest is not as it first seems.
Alright, we got a
Look, it seems
right
we're not
wizard.
fighting alone.
Hello, fella. You right there, mate? Very cool.
Down, you ignorant savage! Take a fireball
Oh.
with your hairy arse.
Kablooey.
Protect
Isn't that
our
great?
lands, guard our people.
Sure is.
Army of the Emperor
I guess
is
you
under
guys
attack.
can,
The quest is not as it first seems. Ready?
Can you shoot from the tower? I don't think the tower does that. We need to run down here.
Destruction to the Emperor's foes.
Oh, don't throw axes at me, you jerks.
Bring destruction
I don't
to the
like it.
Emperor's foes.
Here, eat fireball.
Protect our
Dingus.
lands, guard our people.
Excellent. Love it. Oh, we're getting in there.
There'll be no retreat, only glory or death.
Awesome. Love to see it. Woo! Wow. Impressive. Impressive.
Await your orders. The might of Sigmar as history
Lord
shall tell
Teclis
us
has
a great
taught me the
Okay, got ourselves a potion.
heroes.
So there are like RPG elements, which is really fun.
The great feats of the Empire's heroes.
How's this one? Enchanted armor. Very handy.
Done this day.
So you can see the hell cannons are there, but we are going to get cannons in a second. And then we'll get to see another pre-rendered cutscene from, you know, like 2001 or something. Whenever you're ready. Yeah, this game's really,
Learn much from the elves.
really interesting because it takes place after the Great War Against Chaos, which is like, I don't know, 10 or 15 years after the current setting of, you know, Warhammer the Old World. But it's,
The Bright College offers its
Oh, here they are.
aid.
but it's like a couple hundred years before Warhammer Fantasy battles took place. So the edition that was running when this video game came out, this was happening. This is basically a prequel. This was like 200 years prior. So in this timeline,
Bring destruction
Magnus the
to
Pious has just
Emperor's
reunited the
foes.
three, sort of the three,
The great feats of the Empire's
like,
heroes.
I don't know, kingdoms of the Empire, basically. There were three empires at this point, essentially. Well, not anymore. They've just been reunited by Magnus the Pious. So, you know, there was a time of three emperors. Which is when the old world takes place. But yeah, he got reunited by Magnus the Pious in order to fight against the Hordes of Chaos, led by Azavar Kul, the previous Everchosen. Obviously now Archaon is the Everchosen.
Those abominations will kill
Well, I
no
say now,
men
in
of the
Warhammer Fantasy
Empire.
battles.
Signal the advance.
Ah, good job, lads. Good job. And so, yeah, they got
Praise
destroyed.
Sigmar. Victory
We're victorious.
is yours.
Good job. But, yeah, so this is kind of a prequel. Sort of, you know, covers a... It doesn't cover a huge moment in history. It covers the time of, like... The time just after a big moment in history, which I find interesting. But, yeah, wizards are now legal. So, in the time of the three emperors, when the empire was, you know, split into three, that was a time when basically anyone who did magic was seen as like a chaos worshipper, right? There would still be the odd head wizard that would work in courts and things and be very important and powerful, and, you know, they'd get the protection of various counts and barons and things, just making sure that, like, they could use their power for their own purposes. But it was risky, you know, they weren't professionally trained or anything. At this point, the High Elves had come over to the Old World in order to save, you know, the world from chaos, basically, come to help. And Teclis, who we all know from Warhammer Fantasy battles, he was still alive back then. You know, elves live a long time, so a couple hundred years ago. Yep, he was busy, and he came over and he opened the colleges of magic in the Empire, and that's when he taught the sort of the first wizards to pick a lane. Right, it's called Teclesian theory, which is you channel one law of magic, right? One wind of magic. There are 8 winds of magic. Pick one, or else you'll channel too much magic into yourself and you'll turn into like a chaos demon or explode, or, you know, everyone around you will turn into tapioca. It's, you know, anything could happen, really. So yeah, he sort of gave the guidelines for sort of modern magicking. So there you go. This is the era that we're in. I think that's a pretty good summary. So cool. Let's crack on. All right, so we killed things. We didn't lose that much. This is very old school, isn't it? Very old school sort of RTS end screen. You can imagine this from something like, I don't know, Warcraft or Age of Empires. Very fun, really of that era. With yet another incursion by the Forces of Chaos turned back, Count Otto von Gruber and his captains hold a council of war.
A finely won victory, wouldn't you say, Count Gruber?
I would have said hard fought, Captain Steimer. The
Hard
priests
fought.
of Moor will be busy for days burying the dead, don't you think?
A costly victory, yes, Captain von Kessel, but one that we had to achieve. Count Feuerbach's army has suffered many casualties these past months, and last week he took my advice to pull back his forces to Talabaya. If we had failed today, the Northmen would have killed everyone between here and Wolfenburg within days. Our army stands alone.
We cannot rest until the Chaos filth are driven from Sigmar's realm.
Fine words, von Kessel. Though it is the traitors in our midst that concern me more than the Northman hordes.
If you have an accusation to make...
Enough! Word from the generals of Kislev is that another horde is gathering in the north. Warbands still roam freely. The safety of the Empire is far from assured at the moment. We must strike hard against this invasion and choke it in its infancy. We must attack where they are gathering.
I would be honored, my lord.
No, I need you with my army. Von Kessel will head north and seek out their camp.
As you command, my lord. Where would you have me march?
Travel east and north, via Esterdorf if you need to resupply, and press on further northwards. There are regiments from my army and others on patrol in the region. Gather up any of them if you can. We will need as many men as possible for the battles ahead.
I hope you can be trusted. Disobedience is in the blood.
My loyalty is to the Empire alone.
Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. So apparently we're in the Middle Mountains, which is interesting because we're Ostermark. Middle Mountains are near Ostland. All right, well, whatever. Everyone is, involved in trying to fight the people in the north, so whatever. Before Stefan leaves the camp, Otto von Gruber orders one of his halberdier regiments to join Stefan's army. So we have a slightly larger army. So this is the sort of, mission select screen, essentially. And that will... this will change from chapter to chapter. At least that's my understanding of it. This is just the chapter 1 missions. So, I don't know how many chapters there are. So first up, there is a town of Garlech.
Praise Sigmar! It's been a long while since we saw an army in these parts, and the northern warbands grow bolder every day. We have a fine inn for those who wish to relax, and you may find more men willing to join you at the barracks. If it's supplies you'll be needing, then we have a man with some talent with a hammer and anvil, and also a specialist in more exotic goods, an alchemist by trade. There's a shrine too for those wishing for something a bit more spiritual for their refreshment.
All right then. So this really reminds me of a game I did play quite a lot of, Warhammer Quest. Quite a little. It was made for like iPads and stuff, but like I played it on PC quite a lot. It's a pretty chill game. I played it on stream. I played the second one on stream a fair bit back in the day. I've since archived all those, so don't bother trying to find them. You probably won't. But anyway, this UI feels very much like they were aping that, but they were aping this when they made that. So we have the temple, which we can use to replenish our boys. See, they've been injured? What the hell are they doing so injured? Well, okay, they only lost 2, which isn't so bad. But the handgunners, we didn't lose any handgunners. No, we didn't. They leveled up. They leveled up, and the higher the level, the bigger the group you can have. How cool is that? So soon, these other handgunners will level up as well, and we can have more of them. These guys can level up, and again, we'll have more. We have a couple of heroes here. Well, it says hero name. Why does it say hero name and not just heroes? It's a bit weird, because there's units here and then hero name. I don't know why it says hero name. That doesn't make any sense. But anyway, he's Stefan von Kessel, and he's Bright Wizard. Good job. Good job. So we found Enchanted Armor gives us +1 armor. Sword blows and arrows bounce off harmlessly from this suit of magically hardened armor. And then we have a bright wizard so far. Just has the Morian ring. Plus 5% shooting damage resistance. So not bad, not bad. If he gets shot, he won't get so hurt. So not great, because he has very little armor. He has susceptibility. Big susceptibility. Or little susceptibility. I don't really know how these stats work in this game. I think the higher this number, the higher your susceptibility are, the less susceptible you are to damage, which is sort of absurd, but sure. It seems the swordsmen are much more defensive than the halberdiers. Halberdiers do more damage, though, I think. Yeah, attack type, pierce, and they do 8 damage, presumably. So yeah, pretty similar, but yeah, swordsmen definitely more defensive units. I don't know how armor works. I don't know if it just like removes... Well, it seems to remove percentage damage from... Yeah, it seems to remove percentage damage, maybe? I don't know. Maybe that's how much percentage of damage they take. I think that's it. So I think... Yeah. So halberdiers take 144% damage from ranged, whereas you guys take 72% damage from ranged, because you got shields, I suppose. I assume that's how this works. But anyway, we are going to make that all better. We are going to upgrade everyone with the best weapons and armor, and standard bearers and all that lark, because the game kind of lets you afford that from the beginning. So we're going to make sure all our basic boys are not so basic. Not going to get any siege equipment yet, though. That feels pointless. So we put their armor up by a couple, damage up by a couple. Nice. There we go. And we can also get magic banners to keep their morale higher, but I don't see the point of spending more gold on that. One other thing we can do... let's see. Is it in the armory? It is in the armory. We can buy ourselves a mount. It's quite expensive. That will be like the last of our money, but we got himself a mount, so now he can ride a horse into battle. Yippee! Oh, also, we can view their background, and the background of all of these different, you know, areas that we visit, which is really cool. This is Holstein's Blades and Guns. The Holsteins have been blacksmiths for a dozen generations in Garlech, and such is their reputation, they can pick and choose the best apprentices. As a result, the Holstein name on weapons and armour is a sign of quality workmanship, if not affordability. It is rumoured that Count Feuerbach, I think it's pronounced actually, Feuerbach, of Talabecland had his coronation made, armour made by Eldric Holstein, the head of the family. Well, isn't that great? Good for you. So yeah, really cool that you get all this flavour text. Really helps sort of sell the vibe. It makes me feel like we're playing more of an RPG than a strategy game, and I appreciate that. So if we enter the barracks, we can hire more people as well. So as you can see, there's only 18 in this unit because they're level 1. I mean, most of our stuff is level 1 already, still. Well, already, still. We can enter an alchemist to get some new equipment. We can buy the Blade of Slaying, which I think we will, plus 15% chance to hit. Let's go ahead and do that. There's also War Banners, which we could have bought in the other UI as well. There's healing potions and things, but I don't think we need any of that. Now that we've spent far too much money, we only have 363 gold left, but it's okay. We're going to get money back from every mission we do. At least, I think so. There might be the odd exception, but we'll see. Empire forces have been attacked by a horde of vicious greenskins, and Stefan must relieve them before they are overwhelmed. Well, of course we do. Of course we do. So I'm going to click the Create Recommended Army, and, oh, it recommends we fill every slot with all of our units. Okay, not a lot of choices to be made. Let's go. Orcs are powerful and aggressive warriors, which is more than can be said for goblins, whose only advantage, excuse me, is their numbers. I agree. So. Cool. Let's go. I'm going to run this way first.
Prepare for battle! Our comrades are beset, but we shall deliver them from this filthy horde. Move swiftly and decisively. With courage and strength, we shall destroy the greenskins before they know they are doomed. Strike like the hammer of Sigmar himself!
Come on, greenskin scum! You'll pay in blood!
Be a bunch of orc boys on their way in. How great is that? Very great. Also, our allies have got Knights Panther, which is really cool. Really nice. Love to see it. So, let's mess these guys up. And that's Goblin Spear Throwers, so we need to be a little quick on the draw here to kill them before they can whittle us down. Excellent. Alright, yeah, they got absolutely obliterated. Good. So, enemies are going to come up behind us at some point. Because this is a dead end. So I've already done some of the early levels. If that wasn't clear. I wanted to make sure this would be a good campaign to play with you guys. I wanted to play this for so long on the channel. I really have. I never played it back in the day. But yeah, I really wanted to play it eventually. I wanted to play it for years, and just the classic collection coming out felt like such an obvious, you know, such an obvious reason to actually get around to playing it. It was really great. See, our power's up the top, by the way. So every time we use a fireball, it's going to eat some of that pool. We also have a cooldown for fireballs, but we also have the Flaming Shield of Andor, which increases the armor of the hero and his attached regiment by 25%. So if we do attach him to a regiment, that will be quite useful. Oh no, we're losing so many swordsmen already.
Your troops await your command. March on my command! Kill them quickly!
Those are Arrow boys.
The law of fire is mine to command.
Frame rate. Acting up there because we threw a fireball. Yeah, this game is, yeah, if you have a... if you got a like a 4070 Ti, this game is clearly... it's not going to run right. It's, you know, that's pathetic. Get a better graphics card, noob. But no, old games like this, even though this has been, you know, made to run on newer systems, it's not going to be able to utilize modern systems perfectly. There's always going to be a bit of an issue there. And unfortunately, yeah, we see it from time to time. Yeah, let's see. Alright, spear throwers over there, goblins over here. Yeah, let's go a little warhorse, doesn't he?
Make use of them.
Very shiny horse. Very shiny horse. That looks like the horse head from the General of the Empire kit, which I didn't think was out at this point, but perhaps it was. So we can actually deploy on these spots, which is nice.
I will ask for no quarter and will offer none.
Captain, the greenskins have
So I'm really just using Stefan here to try and like hold enemies at bay or interrupt range units. Because yeah, he can take a beating from like goblins. He's not going to get killed. And with the amount of damage we get in from all the gunfire and everything, it's yeah, they break before they can really do anything to our boy here.
There shall be no retreat.
So there is a troll. They do have trolls. They have a cave troll. Speaking of Lord of the Rings, I think, right, this is just a hunch, right, but the whole sort of thing of Warhammer Fantasy died temporarily. Obviously, it's back with the old world. It died temporarily because, you know, obviously it wasn't selling and whatever. Like, they're a business. You can't keep selling what isn't selling, right? Just that doesn't work. But I think it was Lord of the Rings sort of cannibalized it. I think Lord of the Rings cannibalized it. That's what it feels like to me.
As the moth is drawn to the flame.
Okay, let's move you back.
The law of fire is mine to command.
Get a fireball into these jerks. Oh, he's attacking the defenses. That's hilarious. Oh, we can just start attacking him. Yeah, you waste your time, mate. Okay, and the arrow boy is back there. So that troll has done nothing. I did not know we could just bait him into these areas like that. That's very funny. Oh, we haven't dealt with the Orcs yet. So I couldn't see their banner. I thought we dealt with them. Whoops. Oopsie poopsie. Is that an item? Or oh, it's just gold, so anyone can grab that. So anyone will. But yeah, I feel like it was more Lord of the Rings. Just devoured the fan base. It just sort of killed off you know, just sort of like... It stopped the creation of a whole generation of Warhammer Fantasy Battles players. That's what I reckon. Because I used to get, you know, I used to buy quite a lot of Warhammer Fantasy back in the day, you know, as much as my pocket money would allow. But then I was like 10 when Lord of the Rings came out, when Fellowship of the Ring came out, so I was like, immediately that was it. You know, I was getting, I was like, oh, 10, 11 or 12, around that age. But, yeah, at that point, it's like, well, yeah, now I'm going to get Lord of the Rings, obviously. There's these awesome movies about it. So I stopped getting Warhammer Fantasy. And I feel like a lot of people did that. And I feel like, because they were invested in... Lord of the Rings, me, I was less inclined to go back and play Warhammer Fantasy, I think. You know, or collected at any rate. So I feel like that's what did it. Oh, that's Orc boys. Whatever. Attack whatever you like. It's fine. Alright, the trolls are... Oh, the troll's still fine, is he? Crap. Alright, you go stop them. You shoot these guys. Alright, well, he's focusing on our... You know, our character, Stefan, here. So I think we're fine. I think we're fine here. Come on. There we go. Ours a potion. You know, you can grab the potion. Yeah, I feel like that was the issue. I never really hear anyone say that Lord of the Rings had anything to do with it. But yeah, I do feel like there's a whole lot of people who would have been Warhammer fans and just defaulted to Lord of the Rings. Because yeah, the Lord of the Rings game did work. Like, seriously. That made big sales. Alright, there's a shaman there.
The gods have granted this day to earn our glory.
They're gonna kill that shaman. There's just one Knight's Panther over here.
For the Empire!
I come from the colleges of magic.
Another item. Staff of Sorcery.
We are yours to command.
Alright, do you want to shoot them too?
I come from the
Alright, then I think we just need to get to their camp. We use a lot of power. And it's going up slowly, but we've used a lot. I don't think it goes up if you're in combat. I think that's how they balance it. Oh no, they had a potion. And you can't grab that, can you?
Victory is assured.
Can you grab that in time?
The Bright College offers its aid.
No, we missed a potion. I don't know if it just gives it to us at the end. I don't know. But only... So anyone can pick up gold, right? But only heroes can pick up items. So which includes potions. Pretty sure. Anyway, we lost 5 guys. We lost five models. But we killed 172, so that's quite a good KD. Bunch of trolls, too.
Gods bless you. You're a welcome arrival.
Master Kurt Leuten. I'm Captain Stefan von Kessel, here with messages from Count Gruber. I was warned of Chaos warbands all over this area, but there was no mention of orcs.
This was just a raiding force. Our patrols found a camp to the east, but there's too many of them. I have another detachment to the north. With your men, we can hunt the orcs down.
Our orders are quite specific. We are to march northwards with all speed. Master Leuten, the Count needs your aid in fighting the Northmen.
My men will be here to protect the road and the villages against orcs. Until that army has been scattered, I'm not going anywhere.
We need every soldier we can get to fight the Northmen. Another horde is gathering, one that will make the orcs seem like a mere nuisance. Talabayam itself could fall. Thousands of women and children slaughtered!
All right, all right. I'll leave enough men to patrol the road, and I'll take the rest to muster with the Count.
Thank you. You are a man who knows his duty.
Excellent. So, yeah, with the Greenskins rounded from the field of battle, the two commanders meet for the first time. I do love the little art as well. It's a shame it's so small. I would love to see bigger versions of this. But, you know, how can you? I'm sure the original art for this game is all gone. Like, I'm sure when they made it work on modern systems, they weren't exactly able to change a bunch of the UI and do a bunch of stuff to sort of, you know, highlight this stuff. But anyway. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I hate art. Art's rubbish. Don't hate art. It's just stupid to look at. Yeah, it's just replace it all with pictures of cats. After the victorious battle, Stefan's warriors searched the dead bodies of the enemy and found 3,500 gold, which should be plenty. So there is an enter town button, so you don't need to keep hopping back, which is nice. We'll go to the temple, heal everyone up. So the swordsman somehow got to level 3, and the halberdiers are barely close to level 2. Swordsman got a lot more work done than the halberdiers. I'm very surprised. Because I think it's because the swordsman kept getting thrown at, like, random enemy ranged units, whereas the halberdiers were just sort of, like, bumming around with the archers a bit more. Oh, so close to level 3, and so close to level 4! Unless they max out at level 3. I actually don't know. I don't know. I haven't been paying that much attention. I think they do keep leveling up. These guys certainly do. So these guys have skill points as well. So combat and command, right? Command tends to be bonuses for, like, attached regiments. Combat is just his own combat prowess, which is useful if you've attached him to a regiment or if he's just fighting solo. However, duel, these are abilities you use if you are in a duel. There's actually a duel system in this game where you have a duel with enemies. So we may need someone specced out and dueling for those missions. But I think they're generally quite easy. So Storm of Steel is obviously the ability we've been using quite a lot. This Armor of Contempt, that also gives armor to the attached regiment as well. Master of the Hunt is for ranged attacks. He doesn't have any ranged, but he might later. He might end up with a pistol in his offhand, perhaps. But yeah, currently Storm of Steel is something we're using a lot. If we can just kill people quickly with that, let's go nuts. So we'll max that out. Good. And for you, let's take a look. So he can also duel. But yeah, I think we just want to level up Fireball a bunch, right? Probably. Burning Icon, hero, and the attached regiment suffers 5% less morale loss per level. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Flaming Shield of Andor has a chance to reflect damage. Oh, I didn't realise that. So if we level it up to 5, we'll have a 10% chance to reflect damage. So the enemy will be damaged by attacking us, which is obviously great. It puts up our armour. And 10% reflect chance for melee attacks. Oh, no, it's 10% chance and then 2% for extra every additional level. Okay. I mean, that seems pretty cool. Kind of like that. But I think we just want to max out Fireball. Well, we can't quite max it out, but we'll just make Fireball really good, because that's what we're spamming. Also, you picked up a staff, didn't you? So the Staff of Sorcery is now over here. Plus 5% sight range, and plus 10% to all spells. 10% what? I don't know. Odor? Shininess? Who knows? But plus 10% of something. A wizard who has this benefits from the arcane power stored within it. Cannot be equipped by dwarves. Because it's racist. No, dwarves can't use magic. It's just, they don't. They can't and they don't. That's why they make runes. They can etch runes into things, which they can imbue with magic. But they themselves aren't capable of channeling it. Which is, you know, technically false because Chaos Dwarves exist and they can do magic, but the cost of that is that they're slowly being turned into stone by doing so. Because they're completely, like, you know, their bodies are not capable of doing it. So they're sort of cheating to make it happen at great cost to themselves. So, let's see. Yeah, I don't think we need to buy anything else. I think we're pretty set. So, to the crossroads. The road to Erstdorf leads eastwards, while Kurt Leuten insists there is a large orc camp to the north, which we are going to go check out. We are going to go do that. It is optional, but I'm going to go ahead and do it. So I don't know if this actually has an impact. If you do the optional one, if it has an impact on the main quest or not. I don't know. Be interesting to find out. But I think I'm always going to do the optional ones. I mean, I can't not. The rampaging greenskins have slaughtered the people that lived here and made their camp. There must be vengeance. Alright, let's venge. Let's venge him up, fun time. So, of course, we can recruit more units, and you might think, well, what's the point if we can only field the amount that we have right now? These can die. If these guys die, they're dead. That's it. If the unit is wiped out, you're going to have to buy a new unit, and you're going to have to buy that unit at level 1. So, you know, maybe sometimes it might be worth swapping things out to bring like lower level stuff so you have better replacements. Excuse me, better replacements, but we'll see. We'll see. Orc armies are easy to find. The great campfires they build, the destruction left in their wake, and the dung idols they build are all obvious signs to follow. So yeah, orcs like fighting, they like destruction. When there's a bunch of wars going on between like chaos and humans, the orcs are soon to follow behind because they know there's a fight to be had. They don't care which army they're fighting. If they know there's loads of battles, then yeah, they're going to fight everybody. So they are going to show up. So yeah, kind of a pain. Kind of a pain, because, you know, if there's not a lot of battles to be had, they often just fight amongst themselves. But yeah, as soon as something absolutely cataclysmic and, you know, earth-shattering happens, the orcs are like, brilliant, let's make things even worse. They're real dicks like that, but you gotta love them. I mean, look at him, look how happy he is. All right.
College offers its aid.
So you notice that army... Oh, end deployment phase first. You'll notice our army is getting a lot bigger. These units are a lot bigger than they were.
Sigmar triumphed at Blackfire Pass.
Incorrect.
Remind the greenskins of that victory today. Be brave and show no mercy.
So Blackfire Pass was a battle between Sigmar and the Orcs. It's sort of what cemented him as the first emperor of mankind. Well, not of mankind, but of, you know, just the empire. Emperor of mankind is more of a, you know, 40k moniker, but you know, he became the first emperor and eventual god, which I know sounds pretty 40k. It's pretty similar, you know, pretty similar. The two figures, Sigmar and the Emperor of Man. But anyway. So there's a giant over there. Oh dear. But yeah, what I say is wrong though about that. He said 2,500 years ago. That would be true if this was Warhammer Fantasy battles, but actually it's only 2,300 years ago. From, you know, from this point in time. So so there you go. There you go. We're nitpicking today. Alright. This is what this campaign's about. This is the nitpicking campaign. You know what? I'm gonna make sure that all of these guys walking towards us get dealt with, and then we can deal with the giant on his own. How's that sound? Cheap? Yeah, yeah, sure does.
My anger fans the flames of your destruction.
Boop. Kablooey. Alright, we got a goblin.
As the flame seeks
well worth it. Well worth it.
Fire at will. Fight for the
They're already having just the worst time.
The bright
army of the Emperor is under attack.
We shall make our
The might of Sigmar has crushed the foe.
Protect our land.
Alright, night gobbos. Oh, fun. Yeah, look at them. Cool. I think we just got poisoned. He's glowing green.
I come from the colleges of men.
Alright, I need my halberdiers to start getting some experience, so
We are yours to command.
let's get you stuck in, eh? Let's get you stuck in.
Protect our lands. Guard our people.
Ready and willing.
He's killed their champion, I think, because gold fell out of him.
Sigmar wills it. Sigmar is
Go get that gold. Excellent.
Is your command, General?
Halberdiers... Hang on, halberdiers 1. They're still level 1? That can't be right.
Kill them quickly.
Move out. Glory
It's unusual.
to the Empire.
They're just saying 1. They can't still be level 1. There's 24 of them. There'd only be 18 otherwise. Okay, I'm not sure what that number means now then. Who can say? Who can say?
We shall be moving, my lord.
Presumably lots of things.
The wind of action blows strong here.
Alright. Alright, Wind of Akshi. Let's go.
Fight for the Empire.
Oh dear.
Wind of action blows.
Ooh, this is going to be
What would you have me?
awful, isn't it?
I am needed over there.
Oh,
We have
blimey.
learned much from the air.
The army of the Emperor is under attack. My lord.
I don't want all my halberdiers to get murdered before I get to kill them all. You know what? Attach to the regiment, attach the halberdiers, and we're going to use the Flaming Shield of Andor.
There will be no rest.
And we'll try and hit him 3 times with that attack. Okay, we got him. And you know what? We barely lost anything. I think the Flaming Shield of Andor did help us out here.
Can the Fire College do for
Talisman of the Winds we just received. Which, oh, I guess is,
I bring destruction to the Emperor's
Dunno.
foes.
Get something better. Do you want to go that way? Or, no, let's just go this way.
Flames call to me.
Or do we? You know what? I am going to go this way.
Call to me.
I am going to go that way. I feel like there might be something else over there that we want to deal with before we run through their village. Because, yeah, quests. Quests, not objectives. Quests, because this is a fantasy game. Yeah, I get it, game. Good for you. I like it. But yeah, we need to survive, seek out the Orc camp, found it, kill the Orc war boss, destroy the village. So yeah, destroy all the camp. Destroy all the tents. If you want to see a tutorial, by the way, to make some really great Orc huts, not looking like this, more old school looking ones, then I do have a hobby channel, and I did do a video making Orc huts with very good thatch. Very good thatch.
You cannot outrun the flames.
Really good technique for making thatch roofs. Which I highly recommend. Because I've got a big head.
As the moth
But no, I'm very proud of those videos. So go check it out. Links in the description for my hobby channel. George Realmforge. You'll see the one with the huts, because it's got huts on it. I'm sure there's supposed to be something over here,
grow stronger.
but I'm not seeing anyone. It is a bit unusual,
As the
but sure.
moth is drawn
So yeah, Stefan, by the way, I am going to attach him to a regiment once we have cavalry, I think.
There shall be no
Though it is quite nice being able to throw him solo into like an enemy unit,
gods have granted this day to
knowing
earn
that he's
our
just
glory.
very defensive. He's got very good defensive
There
stats.
shall be no retreat.
You know, certainly against like goblins, you know, he does a great job. Well, there's the war boss. You can see, he's the one we saw who was all smiley. Also, I do love the, I do love how often they used to put like faces and things on greenskin stuff. They did start doing that a lot more in Age of Sigmar. But for a time, they'd kind of stopped doing a lot of that. It was around this time, actually. It was around sort of the 2000 mark. A lot of the old world stuff is a lot less decorated in random faces and things, which is a real pity.
We shall rout the scum from the field.
Nice. Oh dear God, he's gotten very angry.
Granted this day to earn our glory.
wind of action blows strong here.
For Sigma!
Oh, mess him up.
We await your order.
I think we're messing him up. Good. The halberdiers are in here too.
Feats of the Empire's hero.
Oh, I think we got some level ups there.
For the Empire!
The lore of fire is mine to command.
Boots of leaping. Fun.
Ready and prepared.
What would you have
Very
me
fun.
do, General?
Fight for
Where are you going, mate? Come on.
A might of Sigma is
Alright, fine. Handle them.
we will earn victory!
Alright. It's a lot dead. Hopefully the halberdiers got some levels there.
The army forth.
Alright, I mean, it says 2 on them now. Maybe that is their level. Were they really that low level?
Change my position.
I feel like they're much higher level before. But anyway, we're going to start dealing with all these tents.
I shall storm the stronghold.
Oh, potion in that one.
Land, guard our people.
Gold in this one.
Darkness shall not defeat us.
Come on.
As you command, my
There we go.
men of the Empire, advance!
You can just start attacking stuff, I suppose.
For the
Okay, just have you go over there and start attacking. Everyone else can attack as a unit, yeah?
We have learned much from the age. Fireball! I come from the colleges of magic.
Well, I'm glad. I'm glad you're here.
Powers of pyromancy.
Loaded and eager, my lord.
Fires can
Okay.
whole cities.
He'll be here a while.
We await
Oh no,
your
he got it.
orders.
He got
I
it. Good
shall
lad.
storm the
Good lad.
stronghold.
Forward! Shoot that position!
And honor.
Okay. I mean, this is all we got to do, really. Just smash all these huts down. I do love the watchtowers, though. Aren't they fun? Very cheeky.
I bring
Right, let's grab that
destruction to the
gold.
Emperor's foes. A fire chooses
Let's
its
smash this down. Alright, you can help our boy. Take this down. Alright, nothing
Defeat is
left.
impossible. Victory is assured.
Alright, come on.
History shall tell of
And we can get a scroll. Armor of Contempt. That's actually quite a good one for him. Puts up armor a bunch. So when he's got a bunch of knights under his command, he can buff their armor temporarily, which would be nice. Oh, you're victorious. Good, I'm glad. So we lost 17 men, but we killed 174, so again, pretty good. Pretty good, I'll take it. A giant we killed too. We killed a giant, guys. After the victorious battle, Stefan's warriors searched the dead bodies of the enemy and found 3,500 gold. And yes, you have to say gold. Like a hoary old wizard. You got to. Temple. Alright, good. Up to 36. So yeah, no, they were on level 1. I know they were behind, but like I still thought they were just like... Forgotten they were that far behind. Seemed wrong somehow. So it does seem they max out at level 3. So all we have to do is get them to level 3, right? Each of our units, so we can start swapping them around for other units, and that would really help us out, I think. So maybe I recruit another unit of swordsmen and throw them in. Should I do that? Or, yeah, we're probably going to get more units in a minute. We are actually going to get some more units very, very shortly. It's the armory I want to be in, I think. Right, so we've got a few more items. We've got the Talisman of the Winds, plus 10% to all spells. Great. 10% what? I don't know. Brazen Helmet, plus 1 armor. I mean, that's useful. Just him having some extra armor is nice. Because he had none, so I think it's good. Good for him to have that. The Boots of Leaping, a plus 5% movement speed. It doesn't say if that applies to attached units, though, so that might be pointless. Once he's, you know, once we connect him to another
Sergeant,
unit.
make
we'll
a
see.
report.
I'm Wolfgang Spritzen of the Oldenwald Patrol. We've been tracking raiders south of here.
Count Gruber is ordering a muster of all soldiers in the area.
The trail is getting colder. We can join you if that's your order, Captain von Kessel.
Yeah, alright. Alright, Northern Man. Northern Man 1. Okay, cool. So we got Huntsman now. So that's cool. Genuinely cool. I think Huntsmen are great. So Huntsmen, they, if we have a look, can we have a look? We can have a look. Here, you'll notice they have, I mean, like no armor, but then we can upgrade them. You know, they do some damage, but not as much as the handgunners, obviously. But their big thing, where is it? This stat here. Oh no, range is high and attack speed. So you can see they double the attack speed from 13 to 26, but also they have higher range as well from 25 to 33. So, and they're a little faster on their feet too. So they're going to be really, really useful if we get a bunch of huntsmen. They're going to be able to shoot at a really good distance, really consistently. So that's the plan. If we go to the armory, though, we can also buff their damage, so the damage won't be as far behind. We could even give some more, you know, protection, so they're not going to get killed. However, they can't use any siege equipment or have any banners or, you know, champions or anything, because, yeah, they're irregular troops. They don't get the benefits of all that stuff. We are probably going to need ladders at some point on all our units, or maybe these kegs. Causes major damage to castle walls, but I don't know how much damage that is. I think this chapter ends in a siege, but I've not done it. I wanted to keep it a secret. You know? I wanted to keep it a surprise for myself and for you guys. Unless you guys played this game back in the day, or even recently, and know all about it, but, you know. I wanted to keep it a little mysterious. I just played enough to get a feel for it. So, this is where we're going to end the episode. Guys, hopefully there is a discount link in the description where you can pick it up for a little bit cheaper at a bit of a discount for yourself. And it helps out me as well. I get a little commission out of it as well. So everybody wins. Hooray. And yeah, I hope you enjoy playing it if you do pick it up. Otherwise, I hope you stick around to watch the rest of the series. I'm enjoying it. I've wanted to play this for years. It's nice to finally be playing it, and frankly, it holds up really well. I don't know if it starts to just spiral out of control into a bunch of like really weird design decisions in the late game, because you know, old games did tend to start to like wobble off the tracks a bit in the late game. But this one feels really fun. It's fun to play. It's very nostalgic for an era of Warhammer that, you know, I played the miniatures back in the day. You know, I collected them at least. I barely ever played, but, you know, I collected the miniatures back in the day. Very fond of this era of Warhammer, so it's really fun to see it, you know, in sort of like PS1 graphics. It's very cool. It's very charming. I love it. Guys, if you're enjoying this, please do comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys.